Thanks very much for the bit of a test on where the stairs are. I spent a fair bit of time in this room over the time. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Before I start, can I just take the time to acknowledge our Moranbah people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. And Wadamuli, which is welcome in Moranbah language. I just want to say a really special warm welcome to everyone, particularly the people that have taken the time, first and foremost, to be focusing on safety in the industry that is 85 to 90% represents this region, but to take the time to come to Moranbah, which we consistently speak to the powers of be within government as being the powerhouse of this state and the nation at times. As Mayor of the Isaac Regional Council, and on behalf of Council, safety and safety in mining really matters. It really matters to us a lot, and we have a huge genuine concern, and we've got a huge focus, as I'm sure all of you people here have, which is why you're here. Moranbah is a mining town. And Isaac Regional Council geographical area is predominantly focused on mining, huge mining, and a very large proportion is also agriculture. Just for people who potentially may not be aware, Moranbah was established 50 years ago by Utah Development. They built this community to house workers for its planned Goonyella Riverside and Peak Downs mines. Moranbah now, as we know it, is a very vibrant, very multifaceted community. Of course, it's changed in many ways. That's life in general. The industry certainly is in a changing environment, but coal mining itself remains the core business of this region. The Isaac region currently, we've got 26 active coal mines in Queensland, and 26 active mines in the Isaac of 52 active coal mines across Queensland. Several are very close to the community that we're sitting and standing in, Moranbah at the moment, and are prominent on the horizon as people make their short drive in from the airport, or they drive in from outer communities, or people who choose to live here. So our region, just to give a bit of history, a bit of information, we have a permanent population of approximately 21,000 people. That's right across the Isaac region. We geographically cover 58,000 square kilometres in landmass, which is very similar in size to Tasmania. And on any given night, and this is trending up, we service another 12 to 12,500 people who choose to work and stay with us on any given night, whether people fly in, drive in, bus in work mining related jobs. Can I just say, and can I be really, really clear about this, that whether people are permanent residents, whether people are part-time residents, whether they drive, whether they fly, whether they bus, whether they walk, everyone is part of this community when you step into it. And that's how my leadership rolls, and it's how my council's leadership rolls. We care about everyone that comes into our part of the world, and we have a strong view that the services not just provide or support the industry, but provide and support the communities should be fit for purpose, and they should be fit for everyone that comes in here. We're a very tight community, and that just comes from humanistic vision. When someone gets injured at work, when someone gets injured on the Peak Downs Highway, if someone sadly and unfortunately loses their life on either of those, in the industry or on the road, on the way to work. It all matters. It matters, and it matters dramatically to us. That's why in 2019, as a council, in partnership with lodges and in partnership with the community, based on the events that had appear to be consistently occurring across the industry in particular, the Miners' Memorial was established in the centre of the community. If you just take a walk over, and you'll see the commemoration there to, sadly, people that have lost their lives in the industry through mining-related accidents. Each person is, there's a plaque there reflecting the name and the remembrance. I invite everyone, as I said, go and take the time to have a look. It's a very reflective environment, it's been very purposeful and very tastefully done from my perspective. And it does remind us, it reminds me every day that, particularly when I'm in Moranbah, that why we're all gathered, why we tend to exist, and it's certainly why you people are here in the room today. I'm sure safety is a big subject matter, and it means something to everyone. Our community has, I think people are starting to listen to us. Well, I hope they are. I hope it doesn't sound like it's just stuff that we're making up, because it's not. We all know that in recent times there's been big accidents, there's been individual accidents, and not just on mine sites, but as I said, on the road infrastructure, which isn't just a industry conversation, it's certainly a government conversation. These people are all husbands, wives, boyfriends, brothers, uncles, cousins. They're all members of our community, and there is an absolute, can be no mistake, ripple effect that goes through from the mine site to the baker, and from the bakery to the workers' club. And if any of you had the luxury to have a cold beer last night at the Nugget feels it too. So it is a whole of community ripple effect that happens, which then elevates the safety conversation once again. So that's just sort of to reflect on what drove us for the memorial in the middle of town, and we will always remember, and we have a memorial service each November. The Grosvenor explosion, I don't suppose I can stand in a safety forum and not touch on that. Fortunately, everyone would be aware of the 5 injured miners there. Thankfully, there was no fatalities, and certainly it opened potentially the result or the outcome from a community perspective there raised a lot more questions, not necessarily in terms of what goes on with the business of mining and the business of the companies, but certainly with our infrastructure in this community and in this region, and is it fit for purpose? And I'm standing here in front of you all to tell you that it's not. We do not get a fair return on investment and the royalties and the funding that goes out of this region, and it is certainly playing out at a very high level currently in relation to the capability of our hospital and the criticalness of the connectivity from every mine site to that hospital. So anyone that wants to support our lobby for the next state budget, an application to the upgrade to that facility, I'll give you my card on the way out. So I guess just in closing, I don't feel as though I'm here to remind any one of you people the priority that needs to be put on health and safety. That's why you're here. I was very excited to read and to be asked to just come and really say hello, to know that something like this has made its way to Moranbah, because we're not always the community for some weird reason that important forums like this want to host. I don't know why, when it is the centre of the universe from a mining perspective. I don't mean that, I don't intend that to sound rude, but when you look at what goes on around here, it is big business, and I think you people all know that. So it's really, really important, and I feel very humbled that you chose Moranbah to hold the forum. I hope you had a nice time last night, and I hope you're learning a lot. And I like to hear that it's one thing to have roundtables and have discussions and say what's wrong. The reality of life is what I see. We need to have the solutions. This can't be a competition. It's not a competition about who's going to be the best at being the safest. It's about working together, understanding what needs to happen, applying human capacity to ensure that it happens, and last but surely not least, applying the funding, or the dollars that are needed to enable those solutions and recommendations. So I feel like from a council perspective, it's our business to speak on behalf of our communities. It's our business to know what's going on in our communities, and it's our business to help and connect if we can, when we can. So that's what we'll continue to do on my watch. Can I say that I do believe there has been enormous strides? We've come along. Well, what we're seeing is we've come along in strides in terms of health and safety from, say, the last generation, but there's a lot more to be done. I think we all know that. Mine safety from is a state government matter, but it's not just them. Levels of government need to be, we've got to help each other understand what it's like on the ground, and that's where I see my role, that's where I see my council's role. We are on the ground, we're living and breathing this. Our husbands, our sons, our friends, our neighbours are all, it's in our DNA. You don't live in the Bowen Basin for 35, 40, 50 years and not have coal mining in your DNA. So we're huge supporters of responsible development and huge supporters of safety being number one. So congratulations to all of you for choosing Moranbah to hold forum and for coming in. I hope you've learnt a lot. I hope you take a lot away, and I hope you get the support from the companies that you work for in terms of solutions, human capacity and funding. Thanks for the time.